Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to do the third and final episode of my Red Starter Deck development series. So, I'm going to link the other two episodes down in the description below. But basically, how this worked was I took the Red Starter Deck, and in the first episode, I allowed myself to edit it by adding any two copies of any common card and one copy of any uncommon card. In the second episode, I did four copies of a common, two copies of an uncommon, and one copy of a rare. And in the fourth and final episode, I will allow myself four copies of any common, four copies of any uncommon, two copies of any rare, and one copy of any epic. The goal of this series is to kind of show the development of the progression a new player would have with the starter deck. And so you can kind of understand both my deck building process and how to actually become a better player with the deck. I am 100% confident that with this deck, even in its in the first phase of its development, is enough to become a dummy thick player. But obviously, it gets better as we add more and more cards. So let's dive into the deck building process for the final stage. So the first thing we're going to do is just look at all the different cards we have available to us. So let's first look at the neutral cards just to see if there's something there that is gotten unlocked. So we already looked at the commons and uncommons. So let's look at the and the rares as well. So let's look in the epics, but I don't think there are even any epic. There's just a dummy thick disco ball, which we definitely don't need. All right, so let's just look at red then, because I can't really think of a color outside of red. Um, so let's look first at the uncommons, because the commons we already had four of, everything allowed. So in the uncommons, let's see. So we already have Screaming Penguin is in there. Peace out. So again and again, let's add two copies of that just to bring this card to four. I'm not sure if we'll end up using four, but we probably will. Wizard, we already have four. Sunburn, four. Peace out, four. Put on a show, four. So I think we're pretty good on the uncommons now. So when we look at the rares, let's see what's happening in the rare department. One thing I know for sure is we're going to add another Popcorn Penguin, just because this card is so good in the current metagame with all the yellows and Bizbunks rolling around. But I don't think anything else is something we want to add. So I think we're good. We're good on the rares. And then in the epic department, for sure, we're going to be adding the kind of keystone of this deck, which is going to be RedMegaPenguin. Now, this penguin is just so good because it's just like this giant card advantage engine built in. So, okay, so we've added four cards to the deck. So now we need to take things out. So we'll need to take out four cards. So let's take a look. So let's just remove the filters so we can clearly see. So first thing is we're going to get rid of the umbrella rod. We tried this in the previous episode. Didn't have a lot of success with it. I think just the condition is just kind of too hard to meet. So yeah, we're going to get rid of that. So let's see what else we have. Do. So yeah, so let's look at our mana curve. So we have in the 3-drop, we have 7. I think we can definitely get rid of at least one RibbonDancingPenguin because I think six 3-drops is plenty. Also in the 4-drop, because we added the popcorn, we can trim back. We could even trim back 2 run it backs, maybe. Let's see, maybe we trim back 1 run it back because we also added the Screaming Penguin. So maybe we do it like this. So we're basically running, yeah, we're running 3 5-drops, 5 4-drops, 7 3-drops, and then 8 2-drops, and then 4 1-drops. I think that's a pretty good curve. And then we also have the CarnivalPenguin at the top of the list. So I think this is pretty good. This is pretty close to like kind of the tempo red deck that I've been playing around with. I mean, personally, I think right as you get more red mega penguins, ultimately this transitions into like a really red mega penguin combo deck. But with one, you can't really make that change because if we had a bunch of red mega penguins, if we had 4 of them, we would be using like Bearish Sentiment and all these other cards that combo well with it, like TrustFall, Bearish Sentiment, and then Grow Together. But I think with where's Grow Together? Here's Grow Together. So you have like those cards, but I think with only one red mega penguin, we can't really optimize a deck around that yet. So I think this is pretty much as good of that just tempo red deck you can have. And this is actually one of my favorite decks to play because it's this really like control-y board control style. So basically, we're just trying to jump on board. We play very reactively, getting card advantage through small interactions. Oh, there's one other card that we might want to put in, which is a Bunkus now that we're allowed to have epics. So the reason we would put a Bunkus in is just because this deck is like an auto lose against blue. Or not auto lose, but it's very difficult to beat blue. So let's put one Bunkus in. And what did we want to take out? Maybe we take out another run it back. So we get a little lighter on 4 drops. We put in 1 Bunkus. And what the Bunkus is going to let us do is against blue decks have a chance. Just because this deck isn't really that good against blue because, like, right, you're trying to draw through your deck fast. They're trying to mill you fast through your deck, and so it's a very tough matchup. So okay, so I think this is, but I think that's completely optional because it really there's not that much blue on the ladder. So if you don't have Bunkus, yeah, don't worry about it. And I think just in general, like with all these cards we've been adding, you don't need to add them all in the exact order that I've added them. But anyway, okay, so let's jump into some games and let's see how the deck performs. All right. Looking at the mulligan for the first hand, so we have popcorn and bamboo. So we definitely want to keep bamboo. We don't really, yeah, we're missing like screaming penguin. I think is too heavy to keep. Popcorn we're gonna keep because we only have 2, and if this is yellow, it's such a critical card. Having an encore is really strong in this deck, but we need support for it. So just keep the 2 penguins. All right. So yeah, okay. So we drew some more penguins. So we can definitely have a good curve. So I think we're gonna go like wizard into bamboo into popcorn. So I think, or the question is, yeah, do we do popcorn first or wizard or bamboo first? Well, either way, we can use one of them as a rod because we have plenty of penguins. Um, so yeah, so the question is gonna be, do we need to right, because we're playing yellow, and so whenever we're playing yellow, put on a show is very important. If it's a yellow starter deck, and if it's a aggro yellow, um, yeah, yellow can also still be very good. Like put on a show can still be very good. So, yeah. So let's see. So we are yeah, so as we're going about this, okay, so the question is, do we want to do Red Wizard Penguin or Bamboo Penguin? And oh, we also got a Peace Out Penguin. So we have all the anti-yellow cards. So this is very good. I do kind of like keeping the Again and Again with a Peace Out Penguin just because it's such a strong combo. But if I wanted to do that, I would have to Sunburn is also so good against yellow. So, but I think I'm gonna get actually play Sunburn as a rod because I'd love to keep Again and Again for the combo with Peace Out Penguin. And if we basically have, right, because we just need the TrustFall then, and because we have Peace Out already, I don't think we'll actually need Sunburn. So although we could have just kept Again and Again directly with Sunburn, so that could have been very useful too. So I'm not sure. Okay, so we got a second Again and Again. Um, so because of that, we'll definitely use one as a rod next turn. But okay, so yeah, so they play the extrovert. So, yeah, so Sunburn could actually have been interesting here. Now we're basically committed to using the peace out to keep this board under control. But yeah, I guess or we wait till the extrovert gets big enough for the put on a show. Yeah, so I think at this point maybe that's what we have to do. So, yeah, so maybe this was a little well, okay, so yeah, the sunburn wouldn't have helped because it got way out of range of the sunburn already. All right, so I think we're just gonna keep building up. Okay, so we don't need the second Again and Again. We're gonna be playing popcorn probably next turn. So do we want to play peace out yet? I think at this point we're gonna just put on a show this extrovert just because it's gotten kind of big for the peace out even. Because even if we play the peace out this turn, we wouldn't have a good activator for it. So let's just wait till next turn. We'll put on a show the extrovert. We'll put the popcorn down as well in order to start cleaning up this board. Because also, like, if they don't play a daydreaming penguin, we'll want to put the popcorn down because right now we have to get through the inquisitive. And so if they play daydreaming next to the inquisitive, they could take care of the popcorn. So, okay. So let's see what we need as a rod. We have the red mega penguin, which in this situation, I kind of think that this is we don't really have a lot of stuff to combo with it, and we have the screaming penguin already. So I kind of think, well, we have an encore, which would go great with it. Yeah, I think though, I think in this game, the way this is playing out, I think the red mega penguin is the least useful card we have right now. Although maybe have an encore is. So well, either way, we're gonna play the popcorn. So I think, yeah. So let's. Well, we don't really need extra punch, so let's play have an encore as the rod. Maybe there's a chance we'll need the Mega Penguin. So now basically our Popcorn Penguin is going to slowly get rid of it got rid of the Inquisitive, it's going to get rid of the flying next turn. So, well, maybe if they have a penguin who zooms, they can counteract that. And my plan is basically I'm going to take care of the extrovert with the with the what's it called? With the put on a show when the time comes. So, but the problem is if they have a second big penguin, it's going to be more challenging. Um, but yeah, so okay, so what are we gonna do this turn? Well, let's see what they play and see the right way to react to it. Okay, a second extrovert. So maybe we should play the peace out this turn. Okay, so they're playing around the popcorn very well. Um, so the popcorn only is gonna get one card advantage. And so we're gonna have to take care of this extrovert this turn. So I think this is the turn we have to use a peace out. Because right, we can use a peace out to take care of the extrovert and a penguin who zooms at the same time to put on a show for the other extrovert. And I'm gonna play the ribbon dancing penguin as a rod, just because we definitely don't need more pudge. So yeah, so popcorn actually takes care of itself. So this was very well played by my opponent, playing around popcorn. But I still think we're in a pretty good space because we will use the put on a show to take care of the extrovert. And yeah, so let's see what happens. Like it's always good practice to let your spell resolve, like to let your action that's a removal resolve just before you put new things on the stack. Just to make sure that they don't react to it. And we'll take care of the extrovert and the penguin who zooms. And so yeah, we're gonna get their board down very tidy. And so the question now is, should we actually be playing the red mega penguin for some card advantage? I think it's not a bad idea now, actually, just because we do have another have an encore, so we can draw 2 cards with that once we get the Mega Penguin down. Maybe we play the Screaming Penguin as well next turn, just because with the red Mega Penguin, one of the disadvantages is you do have to ice one of your own penguins, and so right now having more penguins is useful. I do have okay, I've not a rod anymore, which doesn't really do so much. I think this would be a card I'd consider. Like as you get more red mega penguins, not a rod anymore is a card to start considering removing. But at this point, it's still really good for the deck. Okay, so I think yeah, so I think we want to just yeah, okay, well we definitely play the rod as the rod. And then the question is, okay, so do we want to play the screaming penguin or the red mega penguin? And if we play red mega, right, we could do sunburn into have an encore to draw, but I think we just play well, yeah, I guess we'll just play the screaming penguin because the red mega penguin is better, like as a surprise to hold back on the turn where you play it. So yeah, because we just will want to go like all in and just play the red mega penguin and just have a just have a big turn. And if we put it on the board earlier, then they might be able to do like not your keys or something to remove it. So yeah, so okay, so let's see. So they don't do anything. There's really no point to play the sunburn because we can also hold this back at with again, actually with again and again, we could sunburn 2 things. So I think we're just gonna now just try to control the board on the way out. We don't really have any good answers to anything big though. So because we've used up the peace out penguin, so we can at least draw with have an encore. Okay, so at this point, I think we'll play the red mega penguin, get rid of the bamboo penguin, and play the second wizard. So now we're really because like yeah, now we're just okay. So we're at 11. So if they play something, yeah, because like what do we not have a good answer for? We don't have a good answer for a shy penguin. But I guess the way we can deal with a shy penguin is is just on that final turn with not a rod anymore, right? Because we can do not a rod anymore on Screaming Penguin, which will then basically put it to it would put it to 12. So, and we can definitely keep them off of 14 with again and again Sunburn. So we can basically, yeah, so we'll be able to um get a really big penguin. Yeah, with Screaming Penguin, we'll be able to outpace the Shy Penguin, but we want to make sure to wait until we get to that final turn in order to do it, because there's no point. There's no point to do it now. Um, all right, so hopefully we'll draw a penguin, which will enable us to get to 14 this turn. Because right, we want to win with we want to like the turn we make Screaming Penguin big, we want to win, and they're going to get to 14 this turn. So, but right, if we use the not a rod anymore, then it's going to not okay, so perfect. Peace out penguin. Just what we needed because that can even take care of shy penguin. So I think at this point we'll put the again and again as a rod just because now we're at 14. So we'll be able to yeah, so we'll be able to get the Screaming Penguin to be 10 if we do Sunburn and have an encore. But that will only tie, so that's not enough to win yet. And so the question is, or we could just basically Sunburn, peace out, and just wait another turn. So let's see if they even push to 14. Because, yeah, that's the other question that's not clear. Okay, so extrovert. So I do really want to take care of the extrovert too. Hmm. Okay, so we could Sunburn the extrovert. Yeah, so we could go for the win this turn, but what it would require is drawing a spell. Or okay, so they're gonna make the extrovert big. So okay, so I guess we have to go for it this turn. So that's kind of annoying. Um, all right, because yeah. Okay, so yeah, so the question is okay, so or do we just take care of the extrovert with a peace out this turn? Well, let's see what we draw. Oh no, we're in action phase, so we have to do something. So I guess we just need to go for it. So I guess we're gonna Sunburn. Yeah, because hmm. Yeah, okay, so we'll sunburn one of the penguin who zooms. Okay, so yeah, so we start with that. Yeah, and then we will yeah, we'll sunburn the penguin who zooms, then we'll play have an encore to unflop everything. And like worst case, we can use the peace out on the extrovert to get him off of 14. But if we're lucky, we'll draw a so let's see, we have to do the red mega penguin and the yeah, so okay, so we do that. All right, so we unflop. Okay, so we're gonna basically okay, so now the screaming penguin is at 10. So now we're tying the vibe check. So we technically don't need to do anything, but if we don't take care of the extrovert this turn, we're going to um we're going to lose the game. So let's see let's see what happens here. Well, I guess as long as we win the okay, so that is not because right, if we got an action card here, we can bring the screaming to 12. Okay, we didn't get an action card, but we got to run it back, which will be enable us to get a put on a show. So we'll use the peace out penguin on the extrovert. So using the peace out penguin on the extrovert will um, that will basically bring him down to 13. It'll also bring me down to 13. So not the end of the world, but the good news is next turn I have the run it back. So I'll be able to use the run it back to get the put on a show to take care of the shy penguin. So I think, but if they get a second shy penguin, we might be in trouble. Um, so I'm not sure what they have in their hand, but I think we have okay, we have again and again. So does that actually help us at all? Um, so should we play again and again as a rod or keep it? Because right, if we run it back, we're gonna go down to 14. So I think we'll keep again and again in the hand. Oh yeah, because that will also help us get the screaming penguin up to 10. So let's see what they do. Because okay, so penguin who doesn't mind goodbyes. And okay, so this is not a problem now because we're gonna be able to get the running back to get the put on a show. Or yeah, yeah. So okay, so we'll run it back to get the put on a show. We'll put on a show the shy penguin. At that point, our our what's it called? Um our screaming penguin will be at 8, which will be tying their dashing swordsman penguin. But then we can just play again and again. So it's good we didn't play this as a rod. I guess we still have this not a rod anymore. But again, if we do that, we'll go down to 13, and then we won't actually be winning the game. But now we just play again and again, and we'll play some Pudge. So that will bring our guy to 10. And so I think unless they have any special purpose rods, we should win the game here. So let's see. Um, yeah. So we end up making it. So again, so this was very well played. I think they're playing the yellow starter deck. And so they played very smart around popcorn, but unfortunately the just red deck is just too strong and optimized against. It's just too good of a matchup into yellow. So, yeah, so that's a good game. So, yeah, so let's jump into the next one. All right. Looking at the mulligan for our second game. So, we have basically all penguins, which is a very good start. I don't know if we need to keep hmm. Yeah, right. We have one, two, three. So, do we want to keep the screaming penguin or the bamboo penguin? I kind of think like, right, because we have such a good curve already, I kind of am feeling like we should keep the Screaming Penguin for kind of the top of the curve, but I think Bamboo is a little unnecessary because we already have so many penguins. So I do think in the mulligan for this deck, you do really want to be prioritizing keeping a lot of pudge producing penguins because the deck does need a lot of pudge. But I still think that it's like if you already have so many penguins and we already had a 2 drop, there's really no point to keep it. So, okay, so we got put on a show, which if we are playing against yellow, would be very good to keep. So I think let's see what color we're playing. And if it's yellow or green, we'll definitely keep put on a show. But if it was, for example, blue, then I think I would play this as a rod. That being said, I guess we're gonna have to play something as a rod. So let's see what we get. And I do think, right, we'll be playing the contemplative penguin on turn one. So we'll be winning the vibe check. So okay, so sunburn or put on a show. So that's an interesting choice. So I kind of think actually, hmm, because we want Sunburn is a good activator for Peace Out. So I think actually I'm going to use the Screaming Penguin as a rod because I do now have both pieces of removal. I think once I understand what deck they're playing, I'll know better which one to play as a rod. The other thing to to keep in mind is that, yeah, well, if it's yellow, they would have played maybe a flying penguin, although, right, there's only 4 of them in the deck, so it's not guaranteed they would have it. So I'm not sure if it's yellow yet. Okay, so we've got lost to Sunburn as a rod, but that's okay. So I think, okay, a second Peace Out is great. We're not gonna play another rod now because we won the vibe check, so we're ahead on the, rod race anyway. So there's really no point to like I said, with this deck, you really want to be more reactive. So we don't need to power out rods. We did get a what was it? Another sunburn as a rod. So we now only have 2 more in the deck, but we have one in our hand. Okay, so it is yellow again. So peace outs are going to be amazing in this matchup. And so I think we're going to basically wait for them to get 3 penguins out. And as soon as they have 3 out, right, we'll have peace out, sunburn, and we'll just completely clear it. And yeah, so but put on a show will be good. So we don't know if it's like the aggro yellow or the yellow starter deck yellow. So yeah, so let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay, so yeah, so with yellow, right, put on a show is very good against the yellow starter deck version of yellow, just because extrovert and shy penguin are kind of difficult to deal with otherwise. And if it's a yellow aggressive deck, then you just need to just keep clearing the board with Peace Out Penguin. Um, we also do have the popcorns in the deck, which is the popcorn is very strong against the aggressive yellow, but it's not really that good against the yellow starter. I mean, it's okay against that deck, but like as you saw last game, we ended up just going 1 for 1. Now, one thing to keep in mind though is even though we just went 1 for 1, it was a really good like it really messed them up because it forced them to play around it. And so it was a 1 for 1, but we also had a lot of impact on kind of the way that the game ended up playing out. So, okay, so there yeah, this definitely seems like it's gonna be the yellow starter. Not yeah, the yellow starter just by how slow they're going. Okay, so so do we wanna play a peace out? I guess we wanna get a peace out on the board because, well, hmm, I don't know, actually. I think we can just maybe play it a little slower. We'll just play another because we don't actually have anything big. We'll just play another red wizard. Um I guess we could have played the bamboo as a rod. I don't really see a world where we're not gonna do that, but okay, so we are but it is good to lose the vibe check. So I guess that's one reason why well, I guess playing it as a rod wouldn't change that because we just want more cards. Because against yellow, um, okay, now that we have the Mega Penguin, we do need to start playing out rods because we're gonna have to get to 5. And this does seem like the type of game where the red Mega Penguin might end up being useful. But okay, so I think they're probably gonna play something big just by how slow they're playing it. And so we're gonna have probably put on a show and peace out, maybe, or sunburn and peace out. So let's see what they do, but I'm pretty sure a peace out is gonna happen this turn because otherwise they would be okay. So yeah, so a shy penguin. So with a shy penguin, we'll play put on a show on the shy penguin, but we want to wait till there's 2 targets for peace out because otherwise we're just gonna it's just gonna be a 1 for 1. And that's we wanna get much better value. So I think the bamboo we won't need. Oh, yeah, because having an encore is gonna be really, really good with the, red mega penguin. So we will just slowly build our way up to the red mega penguin. Um, I don't want to do anything yet this turn. I could sunburn and peace out, but I really want to get a 2-for-1 with my peace out penguin, which we can't do yet because peace out penguin is one of those engines that's a really, really good card advantage engine against yellow. So we do need to keep in mind or make sure that the board doesn't get out of control though as well. So let's see. Okay, so we got another small penguin that can probably become a rod because a red mega penguin is going to probably require the icing of this contemplative, but we have so much pudge already, especially because we haven't have an encore. So I do think it was probably wrong not to play the bamboo as a rod that one turn, because now given that we have red mega penguin, it would be good to play it this upcoming turn probably. So okay, so then we need to keep track. So they're up at 10 now. Okay, so now we have 2 targets, so we can do put on a show and peace out to take care of 2. Um, okay, oh, so now we're gonna have to, yeah, because we really don't want them to draw with okay, so now we can okay, so we'll play the, well, should we play the contemplative? Yeah, okay, so I really wanna I really wanna take care of the I don't want them to draw extra cards off of the penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes. And so what we're going to have to do that is we have to remove it before we remove anything else. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to trust fall it and sunburn it. And then we'll use the peace out on the other 2 penguins and leaving just the shy penguin. So, right, because you have to get rid of the penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes before, um, yeah, you have to do that before you remove any other penguins. Otherwise, they will draw cards from it. And right, the whole point of this deck is to win with card advantage. So we really can't have them get a lot of card advantage with the penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes. So we'll start with a trust fall. So this is okay. So we got another have an encore. So when we play red mega penguin next turn, we're gonna draw a really large number of cards. Okay, we'll play sunburn here to take care of the penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes. Um, Maybe they have like a put your flippers or something, but no, they didn't. Okay. And then now, since we already like went through the effort of activating Peace Out Penguin, we'll use a Peace Out Penguin to take care to get this like 2-for-1 here. Because that also keeps them off of Pudge. So in case they draw like a check the yellow pages or something like that, we'll be able to keep them off having 3 Pudge. And that also just pushes them back from the win condition of having 11 cards. So overall, let's do a quick card advantage check-in, just because that's like what this deck is kind of really built for. So they have 9 points and 2 cards in hand, so that's 11, and we have 8 and 12. So we got 1 card advantage, and the way we got the 1 card advantage was the peace out went for 2-for-1. So slowly, again, with this deck, you slowly grind up the card advantage until you end up winning. And so we have the put on a show for the shy penguin. Oof, it's a little sad because the trust fall again and again combo with peace out would have been good, and we used our trust fall last turn. But I think that was worth it because we really had to get rid of the penguin that doesn't mind goodbyes. So okay, so next turn we're gonna go mega penguin, and then maybe put on a show. Well, or we just play it slow, right? We can wait to deal with the board until they're at the final turn. So, but we should at least get the mega penguin on the board. Although I guess we should maybe think about oh, we got a second put on a show. Okay, so I think the again and again is the least useful card. Yes, okay, so I think we'll play the Mega Penguin. And the question is basically, do we want to put on a show in cycle 1, have an encore? Or do we just wait one more turn? Because I do want them to play more cards so I can get better card advantage. Hmm. Yeah, but on the other hand, like drawing 2 cards with have an encore could be pretty good. But this is a good point because they could have a big final turn. So I think let's no, because I don't want them to get cards either. Let's wait one more turn before we go off because if they like, I'd rather them get a rod than a card. Um, so yeah, so I think I can because with Peace Out Penguin and put on a show. Oh, Carnival Penguin, nice. So now we can really have a plan on kind of closing this out. But I guess we need 2 more rods for it. So well, let's see. I think they're gonna try to get to 14 this turn. So they're at 13. Are they gonna play the 14th card? Because yeah, we have to make sure that they don't okay, yeah, so they're gonna play the 14th card. Okay, so we're gonna have to put on a show this turn. And we're going to be setting up for Carnival. Okay, so Bunkus we definitely don't need. It's not in here for this matchup. Um, yeah, so I think we will. Okay, so we'll pass here, and then we'll just use the put on a show this turn. And the question is, do we want to cycle to have an encore? But I think the answer is we don't, because we're going to play Carnival Penguin next turn. And so we'll want to activate Carnival Penguin, which means we want to be able to play 3 actions next turn. So I think we'll be, yeah, so I think we want to wait for that. So yeah, so okay, so we'll just, yeah, we'll wait until next turn because of the Carnival Penguin. We also already have a play for next turn. Like, we already are going to play the Carnival Penguin. So the only thing is we don't have a good card to start the train yet. Because right, like we have nothing that can be played first. So the good news is, oh, there we perfect. We have NotaRodAnymore. Okay. So right, if we play NotaRod, so we could do like NotaRodAnymore, have an encore. That's gonna activate Carnival Penguin and Peace Out Penguin if we need it. We'll remove one card. Oh wow, they even added this counter. This is new. I have never seen this before. A like Carnival Penguin action cycle counter. So that's pretty cool that they added that. Okay, so yeah, so okay, so in this situation though, all right, so now this turn we can really go for the removal, I guess. Um, but there really is there a reason to? Because I think we can just win without doing it. But yeah, but I guess yeah, because if we do it, how could we lose? Right? Because if we I think yeah, I think it's better just to wait because we have the biggest vibe with Carnival Penguin, so there's really no rush. Um, so I think yeah, so I think we go slow. I think the one risk with this is they could get their extrovert. Maybe they could get their extrovert up to 8, but then I still have Peace Out Penguin. So I think playing it slower and not going for the big removal turn is good that turn. And so this turn, okay, so we'll play the contemplative. Okay, we play that out. Okay, so I still don't really like that we don't have an activator. But okay, so looks like we made it. All right, great. Another win for the modified red starter deck. So yeah, so okay, so let's jump into the final game of today's video, and hopefully we'll go 3 for 0. All right, looking at the mulligans for the third game. All right, so we definitely don't want Carnival Penguin and again and again. Not a rod anymore. I guess it's good to keep because it's just like we're gonna need to play a rod on turn 1 with contemplative, and I'm gonna keep popcorn just because we only have 2 popcorns and it's such a strong card. So I think in general, I think if we had 4 popcorns in the deck, I'm not sure I would keep it, but because we only have 2, I'm gonna keep it. Okay, so we got a nice curve of penguins here because we've got 1 into 2 into maybe not a great turn 3 yet, but we have popcorn for turn 4. Again, like right, popcorn, you can't just slam popcorn on curve because yeah, it just right, it's unclear. Like it needs to have targets. And generally, I like playing popcorn when it has 2 targets already. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, I think we just keep playing on curve. No need to play any rods because we're already ahead on the rod situation. So let's see what they have. But I still don't know what color they are. Okay, so some sort of blue or purple. So I guess it's gonna be good that we have Bunkus. But okay, so if it's blue, also TrustFall will be good against the board clear against Send It Too Hard. But okay, so hmm. So okay, so we still don't know if it's blue or purple, but we're gonna find out right when they select here which direction this is gonna go. Okay, so it's some sort of blue. Okay, so this is why we have Bunkus in the deck. So the one thing is we kind of want to start not winning the vibe checks because um, with Bunkus, like how do I say this? Like right, if it becomes a rod, I can't. There's no way for me to actually play the card. So I don't think I want to play popcorn yet. Um, just because I'd rather have 2 targets, and hopefully they'll play another small target this turn. Um, and I do have okay, so I have Trustfall. So that's not super useful, but if they play Send It Too Hard, it could be useful in that situation. Yeah, so blue is definitely a tough matchup. So we'll see what happens. But Yeah, hopefully they'll play something. Okay, Penguin with hoops. Okay, so I'm starting to think that. Yeah, I'm starting to think I should just play out Popcorn to go 1 for 1 with this Penguin who's okay. Just because I don't have a good. Yeah, because otherwise I'm gonna get so many cards iced with this Penguin with hoops, Penguin who's okay combo. But they're probably playing some bottle penguins as well, maybe. So maybe there's still hope for the Popcorn to get a 2 for 1. Um, but okay, so I really need some removal, like a Sunburn would be really good, or something like that to take care of this Penguin with hoops. So in general, I don't mind drawing cards. I'm really more worried about the Penguin who's okay that's milling them. So if we got no, okay, so we have double TrustFall. So now if we got a Peace Out Penguin, we'd be in a pretty good situation. So still going to be winning the vibe check, which is not ideal. So we really hope our Bunkus doesn't become this rod. I mean, there's only 1 in 38 chance of that happening, but um, yeah. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, so maybe we should play like a bounce house rod. Okay, we avoided the Bunkus fate. And so we're hoping that our Bunkus actually gets iced because that's the best place for it to be. But okay, so I'm thinking. Okay, so we can play the not a rod anymore as a rod. I'm thinking we have to play the Popcorn now because, hmm, yeah, I just really don't like this. Yeah, because probably it's going to be like quite some turns before because now they could probably play Cannonball or something like that. So yeah, it's a little Peace Out. Yeah, Peace Out is what we would need because we have the combo for Peace Out already. So with Peace Out, so hopefully we get another Peace Out. Yeah, see, Cannonball was coming, so it's gonna be so many turns before the Penguin who's okay. Okay, so we got Bunkus in our um, we got Bunkus in our what's it called in our ice. So something we can do now with Bunkus, which is really cool, is we can actually just get Bunkus right back into our ice. Like next turn we can play Bunkus, but play it so that it has a vibe of 0. Okay, so they're gonna ice us a little more. Um, I'm not sure exactly where they're going with this, but that's okay. But like, right, so if you play Bunkus, because Bunkus, yeah, let's talk about Bunkus a little bit. It says playable from ice. As you play Bunkus, put any number of cards um, from your ice on the bottom of your deck to reduce Bunkus's cost by that amount. Bunkus's vibe is twice equal to the number of penguins. Okay, so yeah, they're okay. I mean, do we want to save the Popcorn with a Trust Fall? But like, there's really no point because it's gonna die anyway next turn. So, or I mean, get iced. So I think we're in a good state with that anyway. So, okay, so we'll draw another card. Okay, so we're gonna draw a lot of cards. Popcorn's gonna get iced, but yeah, so we can basically play Bunkus, and we can shuffle everything back in except for Bunkus itself. And what that is then going to do is, when we do that, Bunkus will have 0 vibe, and then Bunkus will immediately get iced and go back in the ice. And so in this way, we end up just clearing our ice without having to actually, and then we still have Bunkus to do it again. Now the downside is we don't have a Bunkus on the board, and a Bunkus could be, it's very good against blue because it gets very big. But okay, yeah, I think we want to do this now because this means we'll be able to use our Bunkus twice. So we're gonna play Bunkus, and we're gonna just put every single card we can back into our ice. Yeah, okay, so it's gonna cost 10. Okay, so we'll do that. Because look, now what'll happen is we'll play it and it goes just immediately back to the ice because it didn't have any cards, right? There were no cards in the ice. And it's good to stay below 15 because as blue, they're frequently playing what's that called? Send it to they're playing send it too hard, which says once you have 15. Um yeah, so do we need like clear the board only if you have 15? All right, so we have some nice removal. We have trust falls. Trust falls can be useful. I guess I'm just thinking, should we play rods? And I'm kind of feeling like we should put on a show. Well, blue does have some big stuff, so we should like a title penguin or something like that. So we should keep a put on a show, but maybe one have an encore. Um, hmm. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess we should just play a rod every turn because Orb of Hopium is on the board. So okay, so now we have Peace Out Penguin with Trust Fall, 2 Trust Fall. So we can do that next turn, which is a really powerful combo. So we'll be able to clear the board next turn with our Peace Out Penguin with a double TrustFall combo. So yeah, so that'll be really good. But yeah, because there's Orb of Hopium on the board, which says at the start of action time, each player draws a card, and there's Penguin with Hoops, like we're gonna be drawing so many cards that we definitely want to play a rod every turn. Now, we still okay, so when we really want to play well, because we're gonna do Peace Out. So with Peace Out next turn, we're gonna be removing so many cards from the board. So I don't need to play a Sunburn yet this turn. It would be good to start winning the vibe check just because, right, we want more rods. Okay, second put on a show. That might not be necessary. We got the Mega Penguin, but the Mega Penguin is also like more of a nice to have, like, right? Because the point of Mega Penguin is to draw cards. And so, yeah, so okay, so they're gonna have the Rod of cheesy slices, but yeah, so we can keeping our ice in check with the what's it called? We can keep it in check with the bunkus as it starts getting near 12, but we don't need to do it yet this turn. We'll want to play run it back, but I don't think we need to put on a show. So we'll play one put on a show and play another run it back. Okay, so we're already at 13 cards. So this upcoming turn, we're gonna do the okay, so we're gonna play double trust fall on the Peace Out Penguin to get its vibe down to 0. So that's the first thing we want to do. Um, so yeah, let's start that process. And ideally, we want to win the vibe check, so we'll leave the run it back unflopped. So let's see how they respond to that, because maybe they will maybe they'll do like a what's it called, a spring a leak or something like that. So let's let this all resolve. Maybe I should have waited for them to put the second Penguin with hoops on the stack, because then they would only have one blue pudge remaining to kind of counteract this. But I don't know. It's always hard playing against blue because I'm probably not doing the micro sequencing correctly. So yeah. Okay, so bridge to layer 0. Okay, so oh, so they're gonna try to get my bunkus out on the board. So that's an interesting play. So what I'm gonna do is in response to that, I'm gonna actually activate the run it back penguin, because they won't, because right, they're trying to swap the bunkus on the board, so I can't use the bunkus. But by activating it first, okay, and then I'm gonna use the second trust fall on the peace out penguin, paying 2 pudge. Okay. So now the reason I wanted to do that, well, I guess there's already a trust fall in here I could get back. But yeah, because so the bridge to layer 0 is going to fizzle. Okay, so first we're getting the vibe of the Peace Out Penguin down 1, which is good. Now to run it back, we can get back a trust fall. Then the bridge of this will fizzle because that was no longer there. So the only sad thing is we're short 1 pudge of using HaveanEncore to do the destruction twice. But it's still gonna be very good. Okay, so let's take care of the penguin with hoops. And we'll take care of the second penguin with, or yeah, I think we'll take care of the cannonball. Yeah, I think this is a good way because yeah. So now, yep. Okay, yeah, because I think I do want to start winning the vibe check. So I think it'll be good to get rid of the 6 vibe. Because we can play the Mega Penguin, although the Mega Penguin, I don't really need to draw cards. As you can see, I have like way too many cards in my hand. So, but okay, I got a second piece out. So that's good. So we'll be able to, hmm, yeah, with the Rod of Cheesy Slices, we're gonna lose a lot of cards. So we can keep doing that bunkus play, but we have to make sure to do the bunkus play that we do it. Um, wow, Popcorn Penguin would be really good here. But okay, so we got a lot of Peace Out Penguins. So we can just play like Peace Out Penguin, Peace Out Penguin, and we can play a rod. So maybe we'll play another put on a shows a rod and a what's it called? A red wizard penguin. So okay, so the question is maybe we could just actually win the game here because we have 16 cards. So we can use a peace out penguin. So yeah, I think we're in a good position to actually win the game because we can just like sunburn something. Okay, so now actually we don't even need to do anything because right, we're gonna win the vibe check. So yeah, well, okay, so let's see what happens. Because yeah, I think we're still gonna win here, right? Because we're gonna be at 15 cards and winning the vibe check. Um, yeah, so I think overall, yeah, so okay, so I think like one of the reasons that we're gonna end up winning this game is because of the bunkus. So I do think, right, we put it in for this matchup, and this is a good discussion about tech cards and like how they can be super impactful because it just really, really helped us win that matchup. And I recently actually made a video as well about a tier list for tech cards. And so I'll link that below as well. So if you want to learn more about tech cards and how to use them, I think that video will be very useful as well. All right. So cool, cool, cool. All right. So that's the end of the video, or yeah, the end of the games. I think right. We played. This is also going to be the end of the Red Mega Penguin modification series. So yeah, so thanks everyone for watching it. If you found this content useful, don't forget to subscribe so that you'll get notified when there's new content coming out. And again, yeah, I think this series basically shows like if you watch it beginning to end, you'll see that I did very very well with the modified red starter deck. I think this deck is really strong. You'll definitely be able to get to dummy thick with it. It doesn't take a lot of new cards, so as a new player, I highly recommend learning how to play this deck because yeah, I think it's one of the best ways to get high rankings without having a big collection. All right. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.